Time Warner Cable is pleased to be an underwriting sponsor for Carolina Week.
Coming up on the November 12th edition of Carolina Week.
We'll show you what these uncertain economic times mean for UNC students seeking jobs.
I'm Mackenzie Babb. Could new med school grads be a part of a socialized healthcare system? We'll take a look.
Will the psycho attack be back Saturday? We'll have the answer in sports.
Weathercaster John Boyer's here with a chilly weekend forecast.
All that and some tips about tipping. Carolina Week starts right now.
From the James F. Goodman Studio in the School of Journalism and Mass Communication at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, connecting campus and community, this is Carolina Week.
Graduating seniors, including us, are only about 6 months away from the real world. I'm Jason Kahn.
And I'm Carly Swain. Those seniors have no idea what the economy will look like at that time. Eric Ellington joins us now. Eric, some of those seniors are deciding not to leave the university, is that right?
That's right, Carly. The prospect of fewer jobs has more people opting for advanced education.
For many people, the next step after college is securing a steady job. Now, in a time of economic depression, college graduates could face a frightening future. UNC senior David Moltz has been job searching, and like many upcoming graduates, he's concerned about job security.
I interviewed with Facebook, and Facebook's a cool company, but I guess some of the downside is just not knowing the stability of where Facebook's going.
Economic uncertainty is causing companies to cut jobs. Many students enroll in graduate school now to hone their professional skills while the economy recovers. UNC graduate admissions are up by 10% this year compared to 2007. Members of the program's administration say the economy might be one element driving this change.
People want to improve their skills or delve into something that they're interested in, make themselves more marketable.
The ability of new business startups, of existing business to be able to retool with new innovative techniques and processes, greater efficiencies for what they're doing. These are all benefits that graduate education provides to the state of North Carolina.
Graduate students share the classroom with David Moltz in the Keenan Flagler School of Business. Moltz won't attend grad school. He plans to work for IBM after he graduates in May.
It's a more stable path. It's a big corporation with almost 400,000 employees and just a lot of resources.
So, Carly, applicants are hedging their bets against the economy.
Eric, does applying to graduate school after working affect your chances of getting in?
Well, Carly, graduate admissions counselors say some departments do prefer that their applicants have real-world experience.
That's Eric Ellington starting us off tonight. Thank you, Eric.
Other students already in graduate school are facing a different world as well. Mackenzie Babb joins us with that story. Mackenzie?
Jason, med school grads have a great shot at getting jobs, but the system they're about to join could be changing.
At least some students planning to go into medicine think universal health care is the way to go.
As students of Carolina, and especially pre-med students, I think that universal health care will hopefully bring the idea of health back to health care.
And to Vance, this seems long overdue.
We're the wealthiest and most developed country in the world, and we're the only wealthy and developed country without universal health care. So, I mean, to me that doesn't make any sense.
However, political science professor emeritus Dr. Deal S. Wright says it's not that simple.
One of the major arguments against it, if you look at the British system, is the difficulty of access, of prompt service, and arguably of really effective service.
Though change in policy won't come overnight, Wright says a change in the focus of healthcare might be on the horizon, a move away from doctors earning big salaries.
It'll be interesting to see whether or not there is a new generation more committed to public service, public good, and human betterment.
Med school grads can't be totally unconcerned about how much they'll make because of the amount of student loans they'll have to pay back.
And Mackenzie, I'm sure future grads want to know just how much does the average med school student owe at graduation?
On average, around $140,000, so it's definitely something they'll want to keep in mind.
And I'm sure they will. Mackenzie Babb in the newsroom. Thanks, Mackenzie.
Economic turmoil has taken a toll on several businesses and industries, especially auto sales. Local dealers have seen a decline in sales this year, but that's not dampening their efforts. Decreased profits have led many of them to offer specials to help move cars off the lot and onto the street. Mark Jacobson Toyota is just one dealership that's offering a special incentive specifically tailored for college students.
Barack Obama's recent election has been helping one sector of the economy, gun sales. Many Americans are afraid that the new administration will impose restrictions on purchasing firearms. In North Carolina, gun sales increased by 60% in the week following the election. Some guns are selling out so quickly that gun stores are placing people on waiting lists. During the week of November 3rd through the 9th, the FBI received a nearly 49% increase in background check requests for potential gun purchasers. Well, Veterans Day is especially significant for a portion of our student body. More than 100 ROTC midshipmen and cadets gathered along with many community members in front of Memorial Hall yesterday to honor and remember those who've served before them. The service included a time when veterans from each of the different conflicts stood to be recognized for their sacrifice and service to our country. And the veterans and those who will soon begin their service are appreciated not only on November 11th, but every day for their contribution to the freedom of this country.
While some Carolina students are looking forward to human rights activist Desmond Tutu speaking at graduation, others are a little bit jealous of another school. Duke's campus is buzzing with excitement about a star celebrity speaker of its own. The talk show host, philanthropist, and Emmy Award-winning Oprah Winfrey will deliver Duke's commencement address in the spring. This is a rare occasion because Oprah speaks only when she has a connection to a school. Her godson, William Bumpus, is a senior at Duke and asked for her to be the speaker.
She's one of the most influential people, and every time she speaks, it's inspiring. So I can't imagine a better graduation speaker than having her. And I love to hear her speak. I'm sure everyone else is going to like it too. So I'm pretty excited.
And Blue Devils are even more excited to hear you get a degree, you get a degree.
Well, some say it's necessary, others say it's a really bad idea.
It's true. Coming up, we'll show you what UNC is trying to land in your backyard.
Is bad air quality ruining your day? Check the Outdoor Air Quality Index before leaving home to avoid the aggravations of smog. For more information about asthma and air quality, check online or call your local health department.
Los peces del lago Crabtree y Briar Creek contienen productos químicos llamados PCB que son muy peligrosos para tu salud. Por eso, cada vez que pesques, siempre devuelve los peces al lago. No te olvides. Para más aclaración, llama a la línea de información y referencia al siguiente número o visita la siguiente página. Gracias.
Want to start a business? Have concerns about state regulations? Need information fast? Don't fret, the North Carolina Business Service Center is here for you. When you've got questions about business, we've got the answers that mean business. Pick up the phone and dial the Business Service Center. Call 1-800-228-8443.
UNC has a new plan ready for takeoff, but reporter Nadine Mazer tells us some residents refuse to let it fly.
Along the dirt roads of Chapel Hill rural neighborhoods, you used to see presidential election signs. But now that the elections are over, residents are supporting a new campaign called Preserve Rural Orange. UNC graduate and Chapel Hill resident Mark McCopolis is upset about UNC's idea to make this land the new site for an airport used primarily by doctors and businessmen.
A lot of them fly, and they envision themselves flying and their rich clients flying into the area, and they just roll out the map, and they feel like they're the lords of the kingdom.
In 2005, UNC did a study. This land behind me that now has cows grazing on it came in number 2 on a list of possible locations for a new airport. RDU was number 1. And what's got residents so upset is why build another airport? White Cross has always been a farming community, and they refuse to let go of their roots. But residents say UNC never told them about the study. Community members posted blogs on the internet to express their fears about the airport ruining the farming community, disrupting the social fabric, and taking away from the aesthetic environment they've preserved for generations. The School of Medicine's Kevin Fitzgerald says there's a reason why airport information has been limited.
The point is the authority has not been established yet. That still needs to happen. And when it is established, it's going to conduct an open, transparent process around the selection of a site.
Although UNC Chapel Hill and the UNC healthcare system are only in the planning stage, many feel violated by the process and refuse to give up fighting against the airport.
I personally feel it's unethical, period.
In Chapel Hill, I'm Nadine Mazer, Carolina Week.
Officials expect to create the airport authority early next year.
A major construction project is building controversy within the Chapel Hill community. The Green Bridge project is a multi-million-dollar construction effort on Merritt Mill Road. The campus organization UNC Now held a meeting last night to discuss the project's effects on the existing community. The event featured performances, a viewing of the promotional video, and an open discussion between those who support and oppose the project. Several people expressed their discomfort with such a drastic change in a historic neighborhood.
It's a very painful thing for a lot of people in the community. It's a lot of pain for people who have lived here, grown up here their entire life, and we're trying to make sure that isn't pushed down and not heard.
The Green Bridge project is only about 20% completed. We'll continue to update you about its progress and the controversy surrounding it.
If you don't want to risk getting sick this winter and haven't received your flu shot yet, you have one more day to get it done here on campus. UNC is holding its last flu clinic Thursday with no appointment necessary. University employees can just walk in and get their shot. Flu shots are free for employees who have state health insurance and $30 for others. Tuesday, in just 4 hours, 87 employees showed up. Facebook is a way for people to keep in touch with each other. Candace Rich tells us students have found yet another use for their social networking site.
People are always getting to know each other, and relationships are always starting. And Facebook might be making that relationship process a little easier. Facebook has a new feature called the Honesty Box. This box allows you to post comments anonymously. Girls or guys can spill their hearts out to the people that they like. This feature allowed Amanda Wilson's boyfriend to find her.
He wrote me on Facebook in my honesty box, and but it wasn't until months later that I actually found out who he was, and we started writing, exchanging messages or whatever.
Facebook has become a very important way for the average college student to have daily social interaction. Maybe next time I log on, I'll have a shot at love.
But some have had strange experiences and prefer to start a relationship the old-fashioned way.
On Facebook, you really don't get to know the person. Just looking at their interest file doesn't really help. You get some weird people.
Typing your feelings online might get your secrets out there, but seeing a person up close and personal is where it really counts.
It's a lot better to have face-to-face interaction before you actually start the dating thing.
But as students say, it's not official until it's on Facebook. In Chapel Hill, I'm Candace Rich, Carolina Week.
So if you want to join the Honest Box train, just add the application on Facebook.
Sounds pretty interesting. And now we are joined by weathercaster John Boyer.
Now, John, I'm wondering, the people who are going to be walking at the Dean Dome on Saturday, what kind of weather are they going to see?
Well, the bad news is that you're probably going to want to keep an umbrella with your fan gear as you make your way over to the Dean Dome. Fortunately, today had some beautiful temperatures. Hope you were able to enjoy those, but I wouldn't be caught skipping tomorrow if I didn't have an umbrella with me then, too. I'll have the forecast coming up after the break.
Hear that? How could I not? They can't be serious. This is their third party this week and I have a test tomorrow.
Yeah, and they blocked me in. Again! Let's party!
Anything left in here? I bet they're gonna leave their garbage out again. They do this every time when they have friends over.
It's important to be considerate of others who live close to you. You wouldn't want neighbors like these. Make sure to control your garbage, obey Chapel Hill noise ordinances, park only in your driveway or other designated areas, obey all alcohol laws, and remember, we're all living in this community together, so be a good neighbor.
There's a vacation village near Orlando that's unlike any other. It's called Give Kids the World. It brings a week of joy to children with life-threatening illnesses, and it's absolutely free for their families. Call Give Kids the World or log on, and please, help give them a time to remember.
And welcome back to Carolina Week. I'm John Boyer with a look at your wet forecast. It's right, we've got some rain on the way, and the chances of it linger through the weekend, through Saturday at least, so your weekend plans are going to be a little iffy. Stay tuned for that. And also, corresponding with the rain, we've got some up and down temperatures. But let's take a start by looking at our North Carolina satellite and radar. You see the triangle in Chapel Hill. We've been in that area with some partially cloudy skies all day, some beautiful clouds in the sky. All the rain, though, is to the north in Virginia. Roanoke and Richmond seeing that rain. Clear down to the south, so they've warmed up a little bit. The southeast satellite and radar shows us where all that rain is coming from. You see rain heading from the Gulf of Mexico, traveling northward into Tennessee and Kentucky, and it is moving slightly eastward as we move through the progression of the satellite loop. And you see the flow coming off the ocean here in our national picture. It means that moist air is building into our region. Combined with this warm front that's headed our way, we'll get a chance for rain tomorrow. The national satellite picture, rather the national current map, shows you that we've got an area of high pressure over the east coast. It's gradually losing its control. It's moving off east over to the ocean, and in its place, it's bringing around its counterclockwise flow with some warm air off the ocean. Not so much warm, but moist. Warm air will be building behind a warm front that you see developing down in the Gulf of Mexico as it pushes northward, so our temperatures come up. And then later in the weekend, Saturday, a cold front out behind comes through and brings our temperatures back down because there's some very, very cold Arctic air. Well, not so much Arctic, but temperatures in the 30s in Nebraska and Kansas. They may be seeing some snow showers tonight in the Great Lakes too, so we will be seeing winter soon enough. Not snow, but just cold. All right, here's tonight's surface map. We'll expect a low of 47 before this warm front is able to make through tomorrow morning and tomorrow afternoon. The chance for showers will start in central North Carolina a little after midnight, but we're not expecting any significant rain until tomorrow morning's map, where you see that we have a patch of rain through the central part of the state moving into Virginia. That should clear out for the afternoon and evening hours with some still scattered shower activity behind it, but the majority of the rain should be through by the evening. As you see, the warm front, we're now on the other side of it, so our temperatures are going up for the day on Friday. The 4-day forecast for Chapel Hill and all of the triangle shows that trend. A good chance for rain tomorrow by the afternoon and evening, tapering off slightly. 71 for your high on Friday as we're on the other side of the warm front. Saturday, though, we've got that cold front working its way back into the picture, bringing our temperatures down for Sunday with a high of 53 on Sunday. And look at those morning lows. They get cold again, so can't hold on to it while we have it.
Well, I'm guessing I'm going to have to bring my umbrella also on Saturday when I go to the game.
Because the cold front's coming through. Maybe a small chance for storms in some places, but nothing huge to worry about.
All right, we'll keep jackets and umbrellas on the ready, John.
All right.
Thank you. One on-campus organization wants to ask, how FLOW can you go? FLOW, an acronym for Fair, Local, and Organic, is in the middle of Sustainable Food Week. Monday afternoon, the group organized a fair food fair in Polk Place to promote food practices. Later that night, they held a screening of The Guest Worker, a documentary that exposes injustices against farm workers. Tuesday, the group set up a farmers market in Polk Place to celebrate North Carolina's seasonal products and promote the FLOW food cause. Looks like a lot of fun. And now we're joined by sportscaster Walter Storholt.
Well, we've been talking about it with the weather guy here. We have the inaugural basketball game on Saturday, but I'm sure people out there are wondering if Tyler Hansbrough is going to be able to tough it out.
Well, we'll find out in a minute. It's going to be tough. He certainly has that injury that he's dealing with, and the injury bug has been a lot of the Tar Heels lately, but we'll see what happens for sure. Coming up in sports, one UNC baseball player has had more than his fair share of ups and downs during his college career.
These kids are in trouble. They're not getting high on drugs or stealing. If they were, you'd do something about it right now. But why is it almost half of all parents who suspect their child has a problem learning wait a year or more before getting help? Why? Kids with learning disabilities are smart. They just learn differently. Call now. The sooner you get help, the better the chance your kid has.
Throughout my career as a coach, I've lived by the simple axiom that behind every individual success story is a team. The success of Durham Public Schools does not depend on one of us, but all of us. Through community involvement and support, we can take a giant step in helping our children achieve their hopes and dreams. You're going to walk with me, and I'm going to help you to be that great soccer player.
Okay, guys, time for takeoff. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off! Wow! Look at that! Is that Jupiter?
Hey kids, it's time to go to the planetarium.
Moorhead Planetarium, where dreams become reality.
The men's soccer team took on the Maryland Terps Wednesday in the quarterfinals of the ACC tournament. After falling to Maryland last week, the Tar Heels came up short yet again. In the 14th minute, a goal by Maryland's Jeremy Hall put the Turtles ahead 1-0. UNC goalie Brooks Hagerty stepped up his play and made some amazing saves the rest of the match. But Carolina's second half push couldn't get past Maryland's goalie, Zach McMath. He had 6 saves. UNC fell to Maryland and out of the chase for the ACC title. The Heels now look forward to a possible berth in the NCAA tournament. Saturday afternoon at 4, the Tar Heels face Penn in their season opener. But the Tar Heels will probably be playing without 2008 Player of the Year, Tyler Hansbrough. Today, Roy Williams announced that it's extremely doubtful Hansbrough's stress reaction will be better by then. The rest of the team will have to make up for the loss, but with Tyler Zeller's size, Ty Lawson's fight, Deion Thompson's dunks, and Bobby Fraser's threes, and, oh, of course, we can't forget Danny Green's dancing, getting the win shouldn't be a problem. The football team is 7-2 and could put itself in position to play for the ACC championship game with a win on Saturday. If Virginia Tech loses one game and the Heels win their final 3 conference games, they'll get a shot at the championship. This weekend, the team faces a tough Maryland squad on the road, which features several talented players, including electric wideout Darius Hayward-Bay. But the Heels have their own star wideout, record breaker Hakeem Nicks, as well as playmaking tailback Sean Drawn and Ryan Houston. Throw in an opportunistic defense, and the Heels are more than capable to return from Maryland with a W. And it's often said that college is the best time of your life, but for one UNC student athlete, it hasn't been all fun and games. Carolina Week's Kyle Lang has more.
At first, Chase Jones may look like an ordinary college student, but that's only because you don't know him.
One day I woke up just pounding headache, and it got so bad that I threw up, and it was just really bizarre. Went to student health. They said it was food poisoning. I went back a third time, and then they decided to give me a CAT scan, and they found a brain tumor.
After 5 months of battling the disease, Jones was declared cancer-free on January 21st, 2007.
I don't think the average person would ever guess that I had brain cancer. And then I don't ever think about it. It's just scary to think that, sometimes I look in the mirror and see my scars and just, that's pretty crazy.
Now Jones is in his second year as the bullpen catcher for the Tar Heel baseball team, and just being around the game of baseball is something he'll never take for granted.
I look back and it's just I feel so fortunate for being here, and I can never have a bad day after that.
When we go out there to realize that we're lucky to be blessed, that we're healthy and able to play the game of baseball. So, yeah, I've learned a lot from Chase.
And teammates aren't the only ones he's affected. Jones uses his experience to help other cancer patients and to raise awareness about the disease.
I was able to speak at a fundraiser for the Pediatric Brain Tumor Foundation in Greensboro, and I've got a couple other things coming up.
And that's why Chase Jones is anything but an ordinary college student. In Chapel Hill, I'm Kyle Lang, Carolina Week.
Furman Bisher is considered by many to be one of the best sports writers in the country. He graduated from UNC in 1939 before embarking on an incredible career. I sat down with him shortly after he celebrated his 90th birthday earlier this month.
It's not just the game, but it's also the manner in which the game is played and the morals that should apply to football or basketball or baseball, especially in college sports. And what I would dwell upon, the fact that people realize when they read me, they realize that my heart is in what I'm doing, and I'd like to be respected for that.
Very cool to sit down with Furman, and a really neat guy to talk to. Imagine all the things that he's done and places he's been in. But unfortunately, he writes in Atlanta. If he were writing about the Tar Heels, boy, he would have a lot to write about today. Signed 5 letters of intent for the men. That's 2 5-star recruits and 3 4-star recruits, and 4 letters of intent for the women. So both basketball teams getting stacked up for competition in the years up ahead.
Yeah, it definitely looks like we're set for years to come, Walter, and that looked like a pretty fun interview.
Absolutely, it was.
Thanks so much, Walter. Jason, I'm wondering, are you a good tipper?
Carly, I'd like to think I am, but coming up, we'll put your tipping etiquette to the test.
No matter where you live, life in the ocean depends on you. To help protect our ocean, recycle and dispose of your trash properly. To learn what you can do, go to keepoceansclean.org.
If you have a story idea, contact Carolina Week at 843-8292. You can also visit us online at carolinaweek.org. If you have questions about this program, write Carolina Week at Campus Box 3365, UNCCH, Chapel Hill, North Carolina, 27599.
With tip jars on the counter at Starbucks, dry cleaners, and some fast food joints, it's easy to get confused about how much to tip and where.
It's true. Emily Post actually wrote the book on etiquette, literally, but our very own Emily Post, reporter Gervais Hagerty, has some tipping tips for us to clear all that up.
Bobby Ramadamovich styles hair. In her business, employees count on tips, but don't always get them.
I think they just don't know. They're not sure, because I have a lot of people saying, well, what is the norm? You know, what do people normally tip?
Etiquette expert Sharon Hill knows. She wrote the book about etiquette.
I think it's a matter of class. When you tip and how you tip says something about you, says something about your professionalism, something about your poise.
And there's a lot of places to make those personal statements. Take spending the night in a hotel, for example. You should tip the person who cleans your room.
You're expected to leave $1 per person for each night that you spend in a hotel.
But, she says, don't leave that money just anywhere.
In certain cultures, when a lady of the night does you a favor, you leave the money for her on the bed. So that could be construed as being nasty.
So let's say you're packing up and you ask for a bellhop. Sharon suggests tipping $1 per bag. And when you get to your car, give the valet $1 per person.
So you might know what to tip when you're sitting down at a restaurant, but what do you tip when you see this jar next to the cash register?
Just because a jar is thing that says tips, you don't have to put any money into that jar.
So what's the etiquette for tipping at a salon?
To be honest with you, I don't know what the tip etiquette is.
But Sharon knows. She says to tip everyone who touches you. But the amount of that tip depends on the type of salon.
Just tip people to just make a connection, but you don't have to. I like to do it just because it feels like the right thing to do.
Well, Carly, I think I should give you $1 for being such a delightful host today.
You know what? We'll leave that on the desk, and I'll have to ask Gervais about that one. I don't know if that's right or not.
Is that etiquette?
I don't know. That does it for this edition of Carolina Week.
Thanks for watching. Have a good night.